Hello everyone, welcome to another live video. In this one, speaking about 5 powerful ways to defeat a narcissist without fighting them. Because here's the thing, in reference to psychologist Ross Rosenberg, as he has mentioned in his videos, he quoted George Bernard Shaw: "If you wrestle with a pig, you get dirty, and besides, the pig likes it." Because this is exactly what they want to do. They want to pull you into their wrestling ring, where they have years of experience, a lifetime of experience. This is all that they've ever been doing, is pulling people into their emotions, getting you to fight with them. And of course, you're never going to win. You're never going to win at that game, because they are master manipulators. They've been doing this for a very long time. Narcissists, they've been in this world since the beginning of time. They've always been here. And this is how they survive. They find strength in numbers. They manipulate people. Now, as for us, we're not good manipulators. We're just honest. We're true. Although, of course, it may be instinctual to us to want to just physically destroy them. And that's completely natural, because we don't like people who are fake, liars, deceptive. But typically you never get that chance, because they do manipulate people and they find strength in numbers. And of course, that's why there's so many narcissists in the world today, and most people are so fake. But what if I was to say that there's a way that you can defeat them without fighting them, without getting into their wrestling ring, without having to argue, where it just ends up with you being blamed, you being gaslit, and no matter what you do, it's never good enough. You're just left feeling confused, not good enough, inadequate. That's always how it leaves you feeling. So we want to stay out of the wrestling ring. Don't get into it with them. I can tell you there's never going to be a time where they understand you, where they can hear you clearly, or when they're even listening to you. They don't want to listen to you. They want to listen to that false narrative in their minds that validates them, that makes them feel okay, makes them feel important. They want to be delusional. And you, by interacting with them, crazy makes you crazy. You're going to end up losing your mind. You're going to end up not knowing who you are anymore. And this is a typical sign that someone has dealt with a narcissist, is that by the end of it, they just lose touch with everything that once made them who they are. Their interests, their virtues, their passions. Just their entire personality has been pulled inside out. Because there's no validation, no encouragement. They want to destroy you. They want to destroy everything that is real and true about you. But it does get very confusing, because first they want to bait you in. They want to get your attention. They want to hook you. So they come in with the love bombing. In the beginning, they're complimenting you. You're the most amazing, wonderful person in the world to them. It's as though you're the only person who matters to them, and they love everything about you. They bait you in, but then they hook you. They use it to bring you down, to get you to attach to them, to hook you on them, so they can pull your strings, they can manipulate you. They get you dependent on them for validation, and then they can get you to see yourself the way that they want you to see yourself. That's how they gain that control over you. and then you become their puppet. Then you dance into the beat of their drum, and that's exactly where they want you. And once you're in that, it doesn't matter what you do. There is no amount of explanation, no amount of defense, no amount of emotion, reaction that's going to pull you out of it. It doesn't matter what you do because they live in fantasy, delusion. So none of it is going to help you. What is going to help you is coming back to logic, reason, facts, evidence, staying away from emotion. Emotion, it's fantastical. And their fantasy is them being perfect, superior, grandiose, presiding over you. And that's how you're never going to win in that game, in that narrative, in that fantasy that they have created. But yeah, give this video a thumbs up and let's get into number 1. How you can defeat the narcissist without fighting them. So the first thing you want to do is withdraw your attention. Take your attention away from them. Stop reacting. This is the thing with these types of people, because they live in a fantasy world, because they're delusional, they need your attention, validation, reactions to support this false narrative that they have created in their minds, where they are perfect, they are superior, and something is wrong with you because they need this comparison, they need this contrast. So they have to look down on you after they have extracted from you. Or sometimes it's practically simultaneous. This extraction process, it's like they're stripping you of everything that makes you you and putting you beneath them at the same time. But if you stop reacting, you starve them of power, because their power is coming from you. This emotional fantasy that they have created, it's fueled by your attention, validation, and reactions. It has no power of its own. The narcissist doesn't want to go and play by themselves. They can't sustain it on their own. You see a narcissist by themselves, they're bored, depressed, empty. They've got to have your fuel. They've got to steal your power from you. You are driven by your own power that you generate from within, your own self-esteem, your own self-validation. That is what fuels you, and that is by you living in truth. Or if it is emotion, it's genuine emotion, it's acceptance, it's real love, real joy, and that's different. For them it's not, it's all a performance based off of other people's validation that helps them to be delusional, because really they're traumatized, they're depressed, and they hate themselves. So that's why they need you to be their audience for this theatre, this play that they have created, for their orchestrations. But you take your attention away from it and you strip them of their power that they were deriving from you. So yeah, that's always the number 1 way to defeat a narcissist without fighting them, is to just take your attention away from them, because everything they do is just to bait you in, hook you, get your attention. Essentially just tricking you, getting you to give up on yourself, abandon reality, dissociate. And they get off in it because they know how great you are. They know that, no, you should be holding on to yourself. What you've got there is very valuable. So they con you out of yourself and out of reality, because they know that you being connected to yourself and being connected to reality, they know that that's good. And they know that that's so much better than anything that they will ever have. So this is why they love it when you give them your attention. Because when you give them your attention, you are giving your attention to something bad, something fraudulent, deceptive, a con artist, a false character, an illusion, a false reality. So that's where they get this deepest delight. And this is it. Recognize their reactions. Recognize how arrogant, grandiose they become. Where they're able to idealize themselves after conning you, deceiving you. This is how you know that, yes, you've just been robbed. This is how you know that you made a foolish mistake. We all did. You should never give them your attention, because they will always end up robbing you, stripping you in the end. They're not deserving of that. Two, set firm boundaries. So narcissists, they always want to gain access. They're always trying to get in. They're always trying to get close to you. They want to get real cozy and warm with you, because it's very cold out there. It's not a comfortable experience for them being by themselves, standing on the stage in their theatre on their own, and there's no audience, there's no one watching. That's not what they want. That doesn't feel good for them. So this is why they have to cross boundaries and pull you into this theatre, into their audience. They have to get you to observe it, watch it, give it validation. But if you set a boundary and you enforce it and they can't get through, then there's nothing they can do. They can't get your power from you. But of course, you also want to enforce consequences every time they cross the line. Because let's be realistic about it. You know, there's a joke going around how, why did the narcissist cross the road? They thought it was a boundary. Because that's really what they're like. If they see a boundary that you set, they're going to want to cross it. Because that's what makes them feel good, having that power and control over you, dominating you. So you're going to need to enforce consequences when they do inevitably test you and cross your boundaries. But that doesn't mean that you've got to get angry, because remember, they want your emotions, they want your reactions. They may want you to get angry. So instead, react calmly. Don't get worked up about it. Just enforce obedience. Just state calmly, no, I do not accept this. This is not okay for me. And essentially, it's the same way that you might discipline a child. Because let's keep it real, you know, narcissists, they are very childish. They are very immature. They do have an arrested emotional development. And this is how they often throw tantrums. And this is why they like to bait you into things. They like to get you upset, because they can then put it onto you. They can point the finger at you and say that you are the unstable one, when really deep down they know that it is them. So yeah, that's the second one. set firm boundaries, and enforce consequences calmly. That's another powerful way to defeat a narcissist without fighting them. 3, document interactions and protect your resources. So you want to control what they can use against you. And of course, by documenting things, it keeps you grounded in reality. In any moment, the narcissist's mission, their objective, is to disconnect you from truth, reality, from yourself. They disconnect you from truth and reality by disconnecting you from yourself, getting you worked up, getting you in your emotions. But when you're documenting things, when you're writing things down, when you're keeping records, now you have things that you can refer to, things that challenge their false narrative. So they may be saying one thing, but now you have evidence. You have facts and statistics to back it up. So it's no longer just their word against yours, which always seems to win, because they're very dominating and controlling. They're master manipulators. They can make you believe anything. They can gaslight you. By the end of a relationship, they can make you think that up is down and down is up. They can make you think that the sky is green. They can make you believe anything because it's all fantasy. And that fantasy is extremely important to them because it's all that they have, or it's all that they want to have. But when you documented things, when you're keeping records, when you're writing things down, you have stuff to refer to, which makes it more difficult for them to manipulate and gaslight you. So, yeah, it's another powerful way to defeat them without having to argue, without having to fight them. If this has been helpful for you so far, give the video a thumbs up. Let's work together to get this message out there. And now let's move on to number 4. The 4th powerful way to defeat a narcissist without fighting them. Build a strong support network. Let other people validate your experiences and block their isolation tactics. Because again, this is what it's all about when you're dealing with a narcissist. They have this grandiose fantasy where they are perfect, superior, because deep down they know and feel like they are nothing. So it's all about pulling you into this fantasy. It's all about targeting your confidence in yourself, in your own worth, and disconnecting you from reality. That's how they win. That's how they defeat you. That's how they get that high, that deepest delight that makes them feel good. It's essentially their falsehoods, their fake world coming up against and trying to defeat your truth and your reality. That's really what this is. That's what they're trying to do. And every time that they get you to disconnect or to get emotional or to dissociate, they feel like they've won. They feel on top of the world. It's all about gaslighting you and creating confusion because they are also in denial about themselves. But you being connected to yourself, for you, that's good. Because there's nothing wrong with you. The only thing that is wrong is when you become confused, when you forget about who you are, when you dissociate. That's what the problem is. And that's what they like. That's what makes them feel good. Because that's what they're having to do, and deep down they know that they're frauds. And also there's this threat of you being connected to yourself. It exposes them. It forces them to have to self-reflect of who they are and what their truth is. And that's never going to feel good for them. So they want to keep being disconnected. They don't ever want to have to connect back to themselves. If they ever do, it causes a narcissistic injury, and then they rage at you. But yeah, if you've got other people who are validating your experiences, and you're no longer isolated, it makes it very difficult for them to influence and control you with their BS. Because that's all that it is. It's all lies. Calling you the abuser, telling you you're crazy, telling you, I never said that, I never did that. Getting you to doubt your worth, your abilities, targeting your confidence. It's all fake, it's all lies. It's all nonsense. You're fine. The only things that aren't fine about you are the result of what's been done to you. That part, yes, you need to heal. But it's not the result of anything that you've done. It's just the effect of them. They are the cause of it. Remind yourself of that, but of course, you must also take personal responsibility to heal, to do the inner work. They're not going to do that for you. They're never going to take accountability. They're never going to give you closure. They want to continue living a lie. They want to continue in denial. That's how they want to live their lives. And this is why it's so important for you to have outside sources of validation. Don't stay isolated. Speak to people. Watch these videos. It's very, very validating for you. And now let's get into number 5. The 5th powerful way to defeat a narcissist without fighting them. Focus on your growth and success. Focus on the things that are good about you. Because you've got to remember, every day you are being influenced and controlled. You are being undermined. Your confidence is being targeted. And they're directing you to other things, distracting you, diverting your attention. So they are gradually molding you into something that you are not. Into something that you would never want to be. But you don't see it because you are in it. You are caught up in the narcissistic fog, the fear, obligation, and guilt. It's like the boiling frog syndrome. So you may not even be aware of it. But all of these changes are taking place every time they invalidate you, they ignore what's good about you, and then they target your confidence, they make you insecure, and then they're comparing you to other people, divert your attention, pointing out the one thing you didn't do. All of this, it's molding you into something else. So you want to come back to yourself now. You want to focus on your growth. And what is your growth? What should it be based off of? It's really whatever feels good to you. Whatever it is that you value, that means something to you, that you are passionate about. Follow your dreams, follow your passions. That's going to get you to where you want to be. And stay away from invalidation. Constructive criticism, feedback, that's fine. We need that. That helps us to learn and grow. And if we make mistakes, we need to take accountability. But recognize the difference between that and someone who is deliberately trying to bring you down. So awareness is key. Discernment. But yeah, focus on your growth and success and thrive quietly, not out in the open. Don't let everyone see it, because not everyone is going to be happy for you especially the narcissist, and refuse to be defined by their narrative. They want to define you. That helps to relieve this pressure. It's burning up inside of them because they're so envious, they're so mad. They wish they could be you. This is why they try to consume you and they give you nothing back. They rob you. And it's why they want to define you. They want to mold you, shape you into something else while they're silently becoming you. Don't let them do that to you. You define yourself. Do not be defined by their narrative, by someone who is self-absorbed, all about themselves, highly egotistical, because deep down they're extremely insecure. And you make them feel that way. They feel that way in your presence because they're very jealous and competitive. So yeah, these are 5 powerful ways to defeat a narcissist without fighting them. Very important, because you don't ever want to fight with a narcissist. Never get into the wrestling ring. All they're ever trying to do, this is why they're highly critical, highly negative. In any moment, all they really want to do is inject their poison into you, in reference to psychologist Ross Rosenberg, as he has mentioned in his videos. They just want to inject you with the poison, but you lose your power. You no longer feel good or believe in yourself as you did before. You start doubting yourself, and you make yourself small, sometimes physically. You may hunch over. You may not have a strong, tall posture. When you sleep, it may be in a fetal position. This is what they want to do. They want to dominate and control you. They don't want you to feel empowered. They don't want you to feel free, because you would expose all of their nonsense, all of their corruption. Because deep down, they know what they are. They know that they're fake. And this is why, you don't ever want to get into their wrestling ring. Never argue directly with them, because you'll never win. They are master manipulators, and fantasy always wins. You cannot defeat the fantasy because it's emotional manipulation. It doesn't make any sense. It's not meant to make any sense. You can't fight them with facts and logic. So even when you get evidence, even when you keep records of things, when you journal things, that's not something that you should really bring to them. I mean, you can try if you have other people around you, if you have support, maybe then they may be forced to accept it. But otherwise, these are things that you just keep to yourself, just to remind you, just to keep yourself sane, just to keep yourself in legality. I mean, you've got to remember, these are disordered people. They have these grandiose fantasies as defense mechanisms, because deep down they feel so much shame, they feel inadequate. And at any moment, all they're trying to do is to pull you into the fantasy with them. But yeah, these are the 5 powerful ways to defeat a narcissist without fighting them. Now let me know what you think about what I've said to you. And take a moment to give the video a thumbs up. Let's work together to get this video out there. I'm just finishing the editing on my next video, which should be up tonight. Why gang stalkers use cars to trap you. I'm looking forward to sharing that with you. Mimi Reese says, when you're in it, it's so hard when you figure it out and can't leave soon enough. Focus on getting the hell out ASAP. Oh, it's horrible. I mean, it can really help if you have some old photographs of yourself, especially videos, and you can see what you were like before you got involved with them. Typically, you know, a relationship, a connection, it's meant to make you better. With a narcissist, it makes you worse. It's like you're nothing like the person you used to be before you got involved with them. And you will see it if you have old photographs or old videos of yourself. And you will feel it. It might upset you. But it's important to stay grounded in reality, acceptance of what you've been through. And recognize it, yes, if it has changed you. Because that acceptance can then help you to get back to yourself. The narcissist doesn't care about who you are. They want to kill the real you. And they want to become you. And they don't want there to be any references, any remnants of the person who you used to be. Because it intimidates them. It triggers them. Leanne Newman says, I've learned this the hardest way possible. Never try nor argue with the narcissist because it's a losing battle and it never ends. There's really no point in continuing on with the toxic relationships. Yes, that's exactly right. And I mean, you know, we stay stuck in it sometimes because of the trauma bond or because it feels like an adventure. It feels exciting. But it's slowly destroying you. And there is no light at the end of the tunnel with them. Narcissists, they're okay for something short term. But when you get into a relationship with them, that's when the real problems start. Toward the Terrorist says, I know lots about avoiding gang stalking on the road. I have to pull over or turn off the road frequently to ditch the row of tailgaters behind me. Most of the traffic problems happen behind me or in the blind spot. Maybe a 4-camera setup so I can capture the angry faces of all who pass me. Yeah, well, I'm working on that gang stalker video now, as I mentioned, why gang stalkers use cars to trap you. And I'm coming to the end of it now. I'm actually at this point where I'm putting the clips for a car being crashed on the side of the road, as you mentioned. And also after that, putting an angry face, an angry gang stalker showing, that you crashed their car or something because they pulled you into it. So I will think of you when I'm editing it, when I'm putting those clips together, because those are the next 2 clips I've got to add. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to sharing that video with all of you. It's taken me many hours to edit it. I mean, so far it must have taken about maybe 6 hours, 6 hours of editing. And I've got a few more hours to do tonight. Valerie Voice says, think about all the appointments you missed or didn't make. This is a big problem when you're dealing with narcissists, is that, you had so much potential before you got involved with them. They take up all of your time, they distract you. They get you in the fog, you're not thinking clearly, you haven't got the energy. And you had maybe so many people reaching out to you, so many opportunities, and then by the end of it, you feel isolated when they may not have even isolated you. Of course, in many cases, they may have isolated you, but it could just be that they brought you down so low, you didn't even recognize the opportunities, or you didn't have the energy to take them on. And this is it, you wonder sometimes, aren't people thinking about you? Don't they care about you? And if you look back at old emails, old text messages, you may see so many things. Once you come out of the fog, once you've healed, and it's just things that you never even noticed before. So yeah, you're right. I mean, there will be many appointments that you missed or didn't make. Debbie Ashley Burton says, I am moving across the country to marry him. He sent me a promise ring. He talks about God all the time. Maybe he's not a narcissist. I don't know if this is a genuine comment. It sounds like a troll to me, because if you don't think that someone's a narcissist, then what are you doing watching this video? Of course, most of us know, if someone's asking you to move across the country and talking about God all the time, I mean, these are typically red flags of a narcissist. That's what they do. So if it is genuine, I want you to know that that is what narcissists are like. And, don't rush into anything too soon. Take your time, get to know the person. I mean, just the fact that you're on this video and you're questioning whether or not someone's a narcissist, that's not a good sign. I mean, you should be pretty confident, pretty secure that someone isn't a narcissist before you ever consider moving across the country to marry them. Barry Voice asks, how are you, Chris? I myself, I've been watching my old videos, my old live videos, especially from about a year and a half ago. I can't believe how much I changed. Not only how much I changed since then and now, but also how much I changed from the last year or two before that. and not in a good way. I mean, I've changed a lot now in a positive way since that time. But back then, I mean, just my attitude in the videos, I was so irritable, so angry. And also kind of boastful, which, I'm never normally like that. But, just the way I'm kind of like talking about how many subscribers I have and the views, and talking about it like it's my accomplishment, when really it's about all of us, that we all contribute together, which is normally what I say. But of course, as many of you may notice from my videos, I am harassed so much by these gang stalkers, and they're often doing subtle things in the background wherever I go. Even if I'm in the room, they're honking their horns, driving loudly past the window, screaming outside, as people have mentioned, playing loud music all of a sudden, just doing anything to irritate me. So of course, that can make me appear in very ugly ways. But of course, the first step to changing that is the acceptance. And I can honestly say, watching some of my old videos, I am really just quite disgusted by the person that I was then. Just really don't like myself at all. But, that's what can happen when you're being harassed. It's about survival. It's about your ego. You have these ego defenses that become activated, which is normal and natural. And you may not see it at the time because, you're dealing with trauma and it kind of blinds you to it. But I myself, I'm typically a very calm, peaceful, humble, modest person. That's who I naturally am. And, anything that I do achieve, it's not just about me, it's about crediting everyone who contributed to it. But yeah, I will say that I don't like how I was before, and it's kind of affected me in a way. But I'm working on changing it and becoming better. And I'm looking forward to getting out of here, making more professional videos in a more quiet environment with better signal. Because this whole setup here is really not working for me. And I'm sure, many of you may feel that same way. If you've watched my older videos from the beginning, I looked much more smart. And I'm just, I was much happier then. And I see it, when I watch my older videos, I'm so much happier. And now I'm just not happy. I'm just not feeling good at all. But back then I was, even though I was still going through a lot of things, I just felt so much better about myself. But I think this is what is important, is to be vulnerable. It's just I had to shut myself off because so many things were happening to me. I'm being attacked, bombarded 24 hours a day. And it's just all just survival and defense mechanisms to where you could even become narcissistic yourself. This is why you've got to have other sources of validation, other people you can turn to, who you trust, where you can be vulnerable, you can be emotional, where you can just say to someone, I don't feel so good right now. I don't really like myself as I used to. I think that's really important. And, I feel much better now expressing this to all of you. So thank you, Valerie, for asking me how I am. But yeah, I think a lot of these older videos, I am going to remove them from YouTube because I just don't like my attitude. I don't like how I'm conveying the message. I don't like all of the distractions around me. And, it's important for us to become more image conscious. And, that doesn't mean becoming a narcissist. It's, when you're around a narcissist, you neglect yourself because it's all about their image. It's all about you serving them. And it's all about you just forgetting about yourself. So as victims, we need to become more image conscious. We need to be more about me, or what I want, what I like, what's good for me. And we need to know how to express it. That's going to help us a lot. Because before, it was never about us. So in some ways, we need to take a leaf out of the narcissist book. And also, consider other people. We want to appear confident, professional. We need to focus on these things. It's very important. Because, this is the system of the world. This is how we interact with each other. And of course, it can cost you some potential connections, potential opportunities. But remember, it is a process. Healing does take time. Mimi Reese says, it was scary when a guy approached your car and was banging on it and yelled at you. Yeah, that was one incident in Taiwan that I put on my Instagram. And that's one of many incidents. There's so many things that have happened and so much that has been taken from me. And this is something that I deal with every day, 24 hours a day. So it's a really horrible experience, and I never really talk about it to anyone. I kind of just have to deny it to myself, act like everything's fine. And of course that causes me to become very numb, while I'm gradually just being drained. So, of course these things are important. And, maybe I could have shared more about my personal experiences, but it just really disgusts me, I don't really like to talk about it. I don't like to associate myself with it. Good to see the kind words here in the live chat though, thank you. It does encourage me, to keep going, putting out this content. But yeah. I think the next step for me is just to get myself to a safer place, where I can focus on myself more, get myself back to how I used to be, and just working on my content, because although I am making some good videos now, I know I can do even more. And that's really what I'd like to do, is just further improve the quality of my videos and just share it with the world. And there's so many different types of content, so many different videos that I want to make. And I'm looking forward to all of that in the future. And who knows what else I may do. I have so many different passions and interests. But yeah, anyway, I hope this video was helpful for you. 5 powerful ways to defeat a narcissist without fighting them, without having to get into their wrestling ring. Give the video a thumbs up and drop a comment down below. Let me know if you have any questions. Let's start a discussion together. Subscribe if you're new and hit the notification bell so that you will be notified when I go live again. If you would like more support, you're welcome to book a one-on-one with me. Just go to my website. It's narcsurvivor.co.uk. And also you can find me on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. If you'd like to help support our community, you can donate. Go to paypal.me/narcsurvivor. So yeah, that's it for this one. I'm gonna go and do a workout at the gym now. Do some exercise and get something to eat. You all have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon.